All right. All right. I think we got it. Having a little bit of technical difficulties getting it live on YouTube and X tonight. Going to be a double take session where we cover everything that's taking place in these financial markets. We're going to be looking at the current events and then taking a look at XRP and XLM, two assets that continue to expand. And when I look at my thesis, I check it every single day. I'm trying to poke holes in it. I'm trying to question, what did I get wrong? What do I not see? What do I not know yet when it comes to my XRP, my XLM? Well, you guys know the deal. What's coming next against my business? What's coming next against my family? We take it all the way to a spiritual level. Who's trying to attack, kill the vibe, literally? Who's trying to kill the vibe? And this is what we protect our families, our business, our investments against. We are so dialed in. Our mission is so clear. It is such an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to come to you guys on a daily basis. If you missed it already, I dropped 2 videos earlier today. On these live sessions, we're going to go for 45 minutes to over an hour. I might take some Q&A at the end of this session, so please stay tuned. This is not meant to be a 10-minute quick video. We're going to cover all the topics, tie it all together, most importantly, sharing how I'm maneuvering so that you can see my analysis, my thought process when I take my investments, when I position my business, and you guys can make a decision for yourselves. Let's get right on into this episode. So much to cover. I got a full show lined up for you guys. It's going to be an absolute pleasure. So right now, we just saw Jerome Powell step in and he gave testimony in the Senate. At the same time, we have Janet Yellen coming in, and I'm going to refresh the chat too. Please drop a comment down below. I want to know that the stream is coming through loud and clear before I get started. I want to make sure you're there with me. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. I just refreshed my chat, and looks like we're rocking and rolling. Jerome Powell testifies, or gives testimony, I should say, in the Senate today. Tomorrow he's going to do the House. And what we are seeing once again is a consensus from both sides of the aisle, the concern, the fear-mongering over the Basel III endgame. Please understand that our financial system is changing. This is not some crazy theory. No. These are real proposals that is producing a panic in DC. Not on any political level, really. It's a matter of the money changers versus the people. The people just trying to get access to sound money, conduct business, move value. This is why we love DLT technology. This is why we store value in something that's a little bit precious, a little bit limited. And it's something about holding it in hand. And this is why we've positioned ourselves for this new financial system rolling out, because these assets get revalued. We've entered a new reality for gold. It's no longer something that we have to think about happening in the far off distant future, try to decode a riddle to, figure out where we're at. No, we don't need to decode a riddle. Look at the chart for gold if you want to know whether or not the reset, revaluation, restructuring of our whole entire financial system and money as we know it is underway. Look no further. Look at Bitcoin. You guys know how I feel about Bitcoin. I talked about the manipulation of Bitcoin earlier in today's episode. Massive amount of manipulation as they try to keep it propped up. How do you offload an asset and expose a market at the same time? Well, take a look at what Germany's doing. Continue to observe and watch it. That's, it's a neutral position as far as I, am looking at this outsider looking in. I'm not part of the Bitcoin community. I respect Bitcoin. I respect Bitcoin a lot. I don't own any Bitcoin, and I just don't care to, right? I'm just over Bitcoin. I want to move the world forward in a much bigger, faster, more efficient way than what Bitcoin's achieving so far, which is respectable in its own right. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to say that I couldn't have made money on Bitcoin. The way that I was making money on Bitcoin was shorting the heck out of it. And that's what I've found my little niche, which is just calling out the Bitcoin hype. And it leads to these market pullbacks. And as we've been highlighting, the crypto markets are leading indicators of the stock market, equity market. What we're watching is the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100 set new all-time highs today, even though Jerome Powell said we're not going to be cutting anytime soon. But the markets and the talking heads, I was listening to CNBC earlier today, is a consensus that rate cuts are coming in September. And they were expecting even more dovish talk from Fed Chair Powell today than what actually occurred. Now, I listened to most of the testimony. It was about 2 hours long. And it is really dreadful to listen to. The politicians who don't even understand these issues, really, they're just handed a script by their handlers, whoever's cutting their checks and backing them financially and every other sort of way as well. And this has been all exposed for us to see as we have our own politicians trading against us in these markets as they pass legislation. And we see free passes in the case of Ethereum. And that's right, we're still over the target on that issue. Every single part of our thesis is still in play. A lot of people are confused about this thing because we hold XRP and XRP's been a lagger. That's fine. It's really fine. The fundamentals continue to grow. XRP and XLM Expand, as I titled it tonight, the fundamentals continue to grow. When we're looking to get in on an asset, we look at fundamentals and technicals. When we're looking on the exit, we mostly focus on the technicals when it's overbought. And the one thing that I've always added to my analysis has been just the market sentiment, the psychology. What am I seeing on Twitter? What am I seeing in the spaces? What am I seeing on the platforms? What's the vibe, right? And we're getting shaken out right now. Are we going back down to some of these low prices? It's possible. I'm not going to rule it out because there's so much still to unwind in this broader pyramid scheme. But for me, we have to also look at the other side. I'm going to show you XRP XLM and Expand, but then I go on to show how BlackRock is also showing up. I have so much to cover. I'm going to get right on into it. I just wanted to set the tone with kind of what's already happened today, what we're going to be breaking down here tonight. And if you guys haven't already, please make sure you are liking our videos, helping me share them out far and wide. If you're on X, maybe retweet it out, share it out, tell everyone that Zach is live for the night. We're going to run up a massive session. It's really important to understand this analysis when we're making investments. People don't understand, why didn't you give up on XRP yet? And they're trying to figure out, why are you still holding silver? Why aren't you just all in on crypto, tech, AI, hype? Well, we mix in, we follow hype. We're willing to make moves based on the hype. But for the most part, I've stacked fundamentals, looking at technicals, and once in a while, we make trades on momentum. I am actually really upset. I got to get this rant off my chest that I can't trade the dang futures market right now in the United States of America, especially in the state that I'm in, which sucks for digital assets. If my governor gets his way, we're going to have another additional almost 9% capital gains tax, which is a form of income tax, which is illegal in our state, but that doesn't stop our governor. Side point, but it brings back to cryptocurrency. We still don't have good futures markets available for most Americans, and I feel like I'm missing out right now. Right? Because I've been trying to warn about these things and I like to be able to put my money where my mouth is, but KuCoin kicked me off their platform. And so I know a lot of people will throw suggestions in the chat on exchanges to trade futures. I don't like doing unregulated non-KYC where me and the exchange don't have a relationship with that's within the law, right? Non-KYC playing around on some one-off exchange or whatever. That's how I felt like on KuCoin. I was like, I'm literally in KuCoin's casino, and at any time they can just lock me in or lock me out. Either way, And thank God I was able to trade my way to a lot more XRP, shorting the heck out of Bitcoin, and then I got my money, my XRP, and I ran off of KuCoin. And shout out to KuCoin, they let me get out. Nonetheless, what we're going to be talking about later is the broader regulations are coming. It's all here. This is a massive, massive liquidity event for cryptocurrency that is not done, not even close to done. A little bump in the road, and we might fall off a little bit here in a significant way. That's fine. For the fundamentals, perfectly aligned. Amazon monster insider trading alert, as we've been warning. Jeff Bezos dumping $863 million worth of Amazon shares. He's now sold just under $10 billion worth this year. Remember when they were telling us, oh, they're just selling little portions of their portfolio? CEO of NVIDIA offloading tens of millions, hundreds of millions, I think by now, actually in the last year, hundreds of millions for him. Jeff Bezos up in his game, offloading $10 billion worth of Amazon. What do you think Jeff Bezos knows? And this is actually a part of the transfer of wealth, is just the restructuring of debt. And a lot of these guys, you know, the leverage has to be reined in. Thankfully for Jeff and Amazon, they're sitting on plenty of cash. Very strong position to ride out this storm. And Jeff Bezos taking advantage of Amazon trading at these highs. And many of these other CEOs and insiders taking advantage of the most recent highs in this stock market. And it's almost just the retail FOMO speculation on the Fed cutting rates. That's all that's driving our markets higher, is pure speculation that Jerome Powell is going to cut rates, conditions will ease, and we can turn back on the pump. When it comes to real estate, we're already seeing it reset. We're seeing it in real time. This is Nick Gurley, CEO of Reventure Consulting, one of my favorites. People ask me, who do you watch on YouTube? Nick Gurley for real estate. Love his stuff. Love his stuff. I listen to a lot of guys outside of crypto to get perspective on stuff that I don't focus on as much. Nick Gurley, massive platform. Price cuts on the U.S. housing market just hit their highest level in 6 years, with 24.3% of sellers reducing the price of their home in June of 2024. That's the highest rate since 2018. A signal that there will be downward pressure on home prices in the second half of 2024. Well, there already are, right? We already are seeing the price cuts, downward pressure. It has arrived. Look at this chart right here. So we're back above pre-pandemic highs. We're back to 2008. We're back to the dot-com bubble. We're back to the 87 market crash. We're back to the 1929 Great Depression. And this is just our flavor, our version of a recession that we're about to be going through, that we already are in the middle of, actually, by the way, confirmed by the unemployment data. The reset revaluation underway as confirmed by the real estate data that's coming in. Inventory shift year over year. Florida, 71%, guys. This is a different real estate playing field, right? This is not Grandpappy's real estate market. In fact, this is not Grandpappy's economy in any sort of way, form, or fashion. This is not Grandpappy's dollar that was being destroyed and devalued at the pace that it has been. The only time comparable maybe was Grandpappy can say that during the 70s, we were destroying the currency just as fast or faster. Vermont at 62%, Arizona at 54%, Georgia 53%, Hawaii 50%, Washington State 50%, Colorado 45%. I mean, these states, 42% for Texas. It is here, okay? And once again, this is just inventory combined with the price cuts, combined with quite a bit of supply still coming online, combined with a lot of multifamily to be completed, basically plans and projects that have already been funded and are already underway through 2025. A lot of debt that has to be restructured between now and next year as well. And real estate and assets so heavily dependent on the interest rates, that's why we're seeing such a strong correction already. It's almost like the stock market, equity market is the last standing. And if you look, actually, it's really only being propped up by that Magnificent Seven. Other than the Magnificent Seven, the market's already been stagnant for the past 4 years. The Powell translation from his testimony today, we're stuck. If we loosen rate policy, we risk destroying the progress we've made on inflation. If we keep rates elevated, we likely blow up parts of the economy. Now, I'm going to take a sip of my adult beverage because listening to Jerome Powell speak with the politicians for 2 hours, painful, hard listen. An adult beverage would have made it maybe a little bit easier to get through, right? Because it is painful listening to these politicians. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. Not in OC Cali. I live in Tampa and feel the growth. It is out of hand. Drop in the comments down below where you're at and what the real estate market is doing. Let's get a vibe check from everybody in our chat on your real estate market, what you are seeing out there. Where are you at? What's the market doing for real estate? Because it's important, as I've said, Location, location, location is the number one deal with real estate. Not all markets are created equal. I'm so glad to see that there are markets still thriving, Americans still thriving. They're still producing, still creating. It's a beautiful thing throughout this country. You know, all we see on the news is the bad. We see the tension in the streets, the problems. For me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's tough to report on this economic data on a daily basis when it's so bad. And I know what that means for the average person. I know what that means for me and my family. This is not something that I'm not going through with you guys as well. Now, as you can see, I approach it with a smile on my face. I'm excited for the challenge. It's a blessing to be alive and in the fight during this time right now. Thank you, God, for the opportunity. We are going to show up every single day. We are locked in on our mission. And yes, our enemy is shaking in their boots or whatever the heck they're wearing these days. But our enemy, now we got the tools. See, we've had the assets to back the system. We just needed faster, better liquidity. It has arrived through DLT technology. And that's where this gets fun. For the real estate market as well, technology really resetting that industry as well for agents, property managers, and what have you. And once again, when you had participation trophies being handed out by PAL to everybody, as particularly in the real estate market because interest rates were so low, right? It was a participation trophy economy and market. No longer is the case. Thank you for dropping in the chat, Temecula. I'm going to be heading down into that area here later this year. Arizona, love it. Absolutely love it. No one can afford a home in Southern California. California is, it's a different situation. There are still so many good people. We have so many good community members from California in my Discord group. And they always remind us that, they're not all crazy out here. And I remind you guys too, I'm on the woke West Coast, as I call it. We're not all crazy out. I mean, we're still crazy. Granted, yeah. We own up to our crazy. We embrace it. But we're all not, partaking in the program that's just silly to make it politically correct, right? In regards to the real estate, though, what's interesting up where I'm at is I got Canadians coming down. I got Californians coming up. I got Seattle coming up. I talked to someone today from Texas just moving up. We get East Coast moving to the West Coast. Cooler weather, mild weather. There's a reason why we're so soft up here. We got mild weather. We don't get hardened up here. But once again, for the real estate, the West Coast, up and down it, has just been out of control for the real estate. And a lot of, you look at these cities too, the problem that we're now seeing is that these companies that really made these cities actually boom, like employing hundreds and thousands of people that are making six-figure checks within a city, as they tighten and lay off, the C-suite executives are getting cut all the way down to the very bottom, right? That starts to change these local markets. For example, in Seattle, you got big drivers like Amazon, Boeing still around, but big drivers, big companies there that have really kept it going. Just like in San Francisco, you got Google and all the other fintech companies driving that market to just absurdity, along with foreign buyers and foreign investors. And we have to be very clear, a lot of speculation in the real estate market, right? You got a lot of folks that absolutely are just speculating. They're buying property and they plan on just selling it a little bit higher than what they bought it for. And if they throw a little bit of lipstick on the house, that's a rare case. And maybe I'm overgeneralization, but you guys see what you guys know what I'm talking about. There's just a lot of speculation, a lot of folks that thought it could only continue going up and up forever. Here's what's interesting about the U.S. real estate market, though, is that many markets still will, and there is still a shortage of quality housing and quality neighborhoods. That's the big difference right now. Is there townhomes and apartments going up in every major city? Absolutely. Some cities are more expensive than others, of course, but broadly speaking, if you want to go find yourself an apartment or townhome to go live in, there's so much inventory coming online that you are now starting to get your pick. In some cities, we're starting to see 3 months free rent. And I'm not joking around, guys. We're seeing I'm seeing 1 month rent free in my area. I'm also seeing price cuts across the board in my area. As I showed you guys, my state, Washington, 50% inventory year over year growth. Now, as QE Infinity shared right here, the Fed is stuck. Jerome Powell was trying to pretend that, things are still good. And it's funny because it's become accepted that Powell says we wanted to soften the economy. We wanted to soften the jobs numbers, right? He's basically saying that we're going, middle class is going to struggle. We're going to tighten it up and squeeze it up on the middle class of America. And this has just become accepted in his testimony today, reiterating it once again. The problem is that they haven't done enough to get inflation down to their 2% target. They never were going to. They never even are going to stick to that 2% target. Never was part of the plan. And the market now is just speculating that the Fed is now going to cut rates in September. September is the earliest that I think we could see. It's still not a certainty for me, like the markets and the talking heads on CNBC are trying to say it is. They're saying it's like a guarantee now that we're getting a September cut. It's like, well, it was a guarantee that we were getting 6 rate cuts last year. Right? It was a guarantee that we're getting, 7 this year. And we're halfway through the year. We haven't gotten 1. So these guaranteed rate cut anticipation moves have failed us for the past 12 meetings. Right. So this is what's interesting, is that this is the last chance to do it before the election. Right after the election on November 5th, 6th, whenever the election is, that's when the Fed's going to meet right after that for their next move. So it'd be very easy for them to make a move in September or November, right? Which is what I believe could be the first rate cuts that we will get. They are going to cut rates. It is inevitable. I'll be very clear about that. I do think that they will have to. And we have to understand what that's going to do as well to our dollar and our economy, right? And our markets. This is why we've been hedging outside of the dollar in 2 different ways. Defensive and offensive. I like talking about the offense. It's exciting to talk about the crypto gains, 5x, 10x, 100x. But it's also important that we're hedging on the defensive side. And for me, that's been with my precious metals. I'm not the only one. Take a look at this. This is from Sprott Asset Management, Sri Kargatar, and this is in the Financial Post. Quote, "There has been this perception that central banks are the only buyers in town, but the reality is that the retail buying in both gold and silver has been buoyant as well, especially out of China." Now, this is what we've been tracking. While the West doesn't care for it, we're only interested in crypto. We hold dollars. We think we're going to hold the reserve currency status forever. Or we just don't even care about investing because we're busy watching the Kardashians. Out east, as you saw this week, there was a bank run against one of the Chinese banks. People outside, and the bank had closed. It's going bankrupt, and the people weren't able to get their money out. Call it whatever you want, but the people weren't able to get their money out. They were outside, and I'm going to be following up on this story. But this came out this week, seems to be verified. You never know these days, especially out of China. But nonetheless, we know that the banking crisis is not over. So we go through all of this on the current events, the broader financial markets. Now I want to get into cryptocurrency. We have to understand that the crypto bull run is still there on a macro perspective. Into next year, we go up and we set new all-time highs. At the same time, I was early on my call for a correction to this type of level of nearly 30%. Bitcoin has gone down 28% so far, rounding. And this is part of a correction that I've been calling for a while, because my analysis went back to 2019 into 2020, where we got a 340% bull trap rally in the middle of the bull run. I mean, it's a bullish move, a 340% move. That's a bull run. That's a bullish move by every technical definition. But it was part of it led up to a bull trap collapse of 60, almost 70% during March of 2020, before the halving, which is why I've been anticipating this correction before the halving. It's finally come in. Bitcoin is now flipped the 58,000 support into resistance. When we go and look at the charts, which maybe I'll show you that later, we've gone above 58,000 about 4 times now, and we've rejected every single time. I'm going to check the price of Bitcoin right now just so I'm not, eating my words because Bitcoin's gone on a pump while I'm running up this live show. So here we are on the 4-hour chart, and you can see what I'm talking about right here. So basically, Bitcoin here, above 58,000, call it 4 times, whatever you want. We call it 3 times. It's a triple top after we cleared all the way down to 53,300. This is on a shorter time frame, 4-hour, zoomed out over the last month. What do we see? We've been correcting. We just set another triple top. We're about to fall off. Kind of like what we set right here, right? Now, this is Bitcoin zoomed out to the all-time high, pre-halving. Bitcoin made me eat my words, and that's why I said I'm going to be careful. I'm going to check the price of Bitcoin because it does that. I did not expect Bitcoin to go up to 50,000 before the ETF. It did, but we still got the buy the rumor, sell the news correction down to 38,000. I didn't think that Bitcoin was going to go up to 74,000 before the halving. It did. I thought we were going to correct before the halving. We didn't. We pumped all the way through, remained incredibly strong, but now we are finally falling off here into June. And now we've gone into July and we've continued. We broke below 60,000. When we take a look at this chart, we've broke way below 60,000. And then as we warned about, this 58K support was just so massive. Broke right through it. And now we're flipping it into resistance. This is the most simple TA. I think that we go lower and the next big support's at 52,000. The next big support's right there at 52,000. 52 to 53 in that region. What is that going to do to XRP? Well, let's get perspective. Let me get a daily on XRP. Let me zoom out on XRP. What have I had on my chart for months now? XRP 45 to 40 cents. And this is why folks, they want to call me biased. They want to see I'm an XRP maxi. I'm, crazy, whatever. I've checked my own bias on a technical analysis basis on a short-term perspective to hedge my ridiculously long bet on XRP, which I am not going to shy away from. Yes, of course I'm super long XRP. With that being said, I've hedged my bets and I'm still ready to look at XRP and confront the fact that I think that we still have another correction to go through, and it's one to take advantage of. There's a wall at the 33 cent level, down to 28 is what we hit. 28 cents was basically the low of the 2022 bear market for XRP. So our current bear market low was this 28 cent level. I don't think that we go that low. If we get one more crazy liquidation event, Bitcoin goes to 52 or even lower, then XRP definitely can come down to the 33, big time 28. And this is the XRP launchpad that we're looking at right here, zoomed out. We've broken through 45 to 40. Had it here. There's just a few main levels on XRP. This is the range. This is the current XRP range. We're zoomed out to 2020, 2021 top, near $2. Folks are falling asleep on this thing right as it's about to go again. Now let's continue on here. We got to look at this as we were talking about the manipulation earlier today, guys. This is not looking good for Bitcoin. Dormant Bitcoin wallets continue to wake up at an unprecedented pace. A lot of previously locked liquidity is moving into play. Can the Bitfinex scam pump keep it up? And that's the question, isn't it? Can the Tether show live on is the question that we're asking. Another problem for Bitcoin. Apparently their fans are too loud, and apparently the noise is causing serious problems in this town, Granbury, Texas. This is a Texas Bitcoin town, and I read this article because I was like, what the heck kind of FUD is this? Even though I'm not a massive fan of Bitcoin, I'm like, okay, this looks ridiculous. This looks like a Time News hit piece against Bitcoin. What are we looking at here? Where apparently a Bitcoin mine moved into a Texas town, then its residents started getting sick. This Andrew Chow traveled to Granbury and talked to 50 plus people experiencing symptoms that seemed to stem from the mine's noise, including heart palpitations, seizures, migraines, and blood clots. Now, guys, I have no way of verifying this. The thing that's crazy to me is it's just another FUD piece against Bitcoin. I don't know if it's warranted or not. I mean, you got all these health issues in some town. It just so happens that a Bitcoin mining rig showed up. The other thing is the energy issue, right? I know folks want to say that the Bitcoin miners are going to solve our energy crisis. Okay, sure. There's already so many people in energy and investing in energy right now, way more than the Bitcoin miners, but the Bitcoin miners are contributing. They are trying to do something. And when you look at these larger data centers and all this, there's a reason why they're putting them out kind of in the middle of nowhere, away from people, right? Is because they still don't know, the kind of the effects of this type of technology. So it is interesting nonetheless, but I just thought it was hilarious. Kind of another FUD point against Bitcoin. Pretty unfortunate, but it's interesting to watch these states adopting, like Texas has just become a hub now for Bitcoin mining. And they're going to reap the rewards of that as, being early adopters of this, of basically opening up their state for that business. That's one way that Texas has been leading. Now, we also got testimony from Janet Yellen, and Yellen admitted here that she's not quarterbacking between the SEC and the CFTC on crypto regulation, yet it's her job to lead the team as head of FSOC. Fit 21 passed the House with strong bipartisan support. It's time to get it across the finish line. We're going to listen to this 1-minute clip right here from Janet Yellen being questioned here by Representative French Hill.
Another topic related to digital assets, the SEC and the CFTC are consistently taking opposite legal positions in federal court on digital assets. In your capacity as the Financial Stability Oversight Council leader, what are you doing to bring the CFTC and the SEC together and be on the same page about this matter?
Well, I mean, it's not the job of the Financial Stability Oversight Council to adjudicate
No, but you're supposed to quarterback financial risk. Are you quarterbacking between the CFTC and the SEC on this dispute?
Not really. Our view, we have done a report on the risks connected with cryptocurrency and digital assets.
Right. In my final...
Our risks have to do with holes where there's a lack
right.
of authority.
I agree, and you're working constructively with us. Thank you.
Yeah, not really. No, we did a report, though. See, this is our, representatives. These are the people that are supposed to be working for us and protecting us, and the regulators of these markets. The Financial Stability Oversight Council. It's a joke. All these committees, all these councils, even the song and dance that they're doing in D.C. today with Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen. As I said, it's a real hard listen on these 2-3 hour deals where the good people only get the 5 minutes. So they don't even get that much time to really press down and grill. It's 5 minutes and then on to the next. But then listening to 5 minutes from some of these old folks, it's a painful, hard listen. But what we're finally starting to see is they're coming around. They have to do their reports. They have to do their tests. They have to run their pilots. But we're finally getting that push. I want to give a shout out to somebody who has been doing a significant push, and that's going to be our good friend and lawyer, Fred Rispoli. He's going to be arguing on July 18th at 9:30 a.m. It's going to be live streamed for HODL Law case against the SEC on whether U.S. investors have the right to know if Ethereum is a security. I'm preparing all week in a happy place. Looks like Fred is camped out by the lake, by the river. and getting locked in there with his documents. He doesn't have a red folder, but he's got a red Solo cup. And that's what I like to see. Our good friend Fred Rispoli out of California. And I've had Fred on the show before. Really appreciate his fight, really appreciate his push. And it's sad that it's had to come to this, getting the red folder out, filing our lawsuits against the SEC like Fred has, to get clarity on Ethereum when we're in the middle of trying to approve ETF approvals. How can we not come out and say whether or not Ethereum is a security or not? And when was it sold as a security investment contract? Well, the ICO, but of course we're not going to talk about that, right? So shout out to Fred for continuing the fight. I'm going to be watching that one for sure. July 18th coming up here shortly. That's going to be a good one. Now, you need to understand, folks, this manipulation runs so deep. You literally have our space that has been infiltrated at the highest levels of the crypto influencers. And I'm being dead serious. This is not a joke. It's kind of silly to talk about, but it's actually for real. You have some of the biggest influencers in this space, which are setting up honeypots to get other people to commit securities violations, to get other people to commit fraud, to get people to commit financial crimes without realizing what they're doing, or realizing what they're doing and they just don't care. And these agents and operatives are helping them expand. You know, I titled this one XRP and XLM Expand. We should talk about infiltration operations into the cryptocurrency space expanding. And this is what I talked about with Lil Pump. My little buddy, Lil Pump. He's not actually my little buddy, but I just like to make fun of him a little bit, right? This is celebrities who came into the Solana space. Now we're pumping meme coins, and it's just blatant rug pulls. Blatant, obvious. And who's going to get in trouble? Who's going to go to jail? Who's going to pay fine? Who knows? Who's getting hurt the most? Retail investors. Who's supposed to be there, the cop on the beat to protect us? Well, you already know that story. This is direct evidence of what I'm talking about. I'm not just saying this, guys. I'm not just coming up with this. It's now coming out in court documents. Influencers doing crazy things with agents. You think I'm joking? This is crazy. This is from Alchemist here on X. Now that this Kobe tweet is making the rounds, I feel a little better boosting this. Now, Kobe's some crypto influencer I don't follow. I don't play around, but I guess they're a big deal. It says, I've obtained transcripts from the Schermerhorn v. Zion Ansem Thomas case in Nevada. Ansem is another popular crypto influencer that just really came on the scene here as of late. For those unaware, Ansem Thomas' lawyer had arrangement with an SEC agent to get paid to provide updates on the Ansem wallets. The relationship became, I'm not going to say that word, and then the agent ghosted him. The plaintiff, Ansem's now ex-lawyer, simps for his handler. And for those who don't know, simp, it's a word that the kids use for kind of, sucking up and, kissing the behind and, doing the most for your significant other. Simping. The plaintiff, Ansem's now ex-lawyer, simps for his handler and starts encouraging Ansem to do legally gray activities in order to win back his favor. Quote, he rubbed his hands and told me I was a good boy. I'm trying to stay serious while reading this, folks. At one point, the lawyer... I'm not even going to read it. What are we doing? These are your influencers, not your guys's. I know there's a reason why you guys are here and you guys don't listen to this crap. But the point that I'm trying to get across, they've literally infiltrated our space and they're trying, they encourage, right? They give the person the tools. These are celebrities that are now being brought into the space to launch these meme coins like Iggy Azalea, Jason Derulo, you name it. I barely even remember these guys. They got one-hit wonders. Now they're coming back. Their careers are kind of tightening up. They're probably feeling it. They need to make a little bag. They partner up with some developer. And I promise you, this is going to come out. There's going to be documentaries made about this moment in crypto for decades. Literally. The amount of crazy fraud, manipulation schemes that's going on. We've already, there's already dozens probably of crypto movies out there. There's been a few more popular ones. There's going to be documentaries made about this time for a long time coming. Especially that XRP Unleashed documentary as well. That's going to be a big one too when it comes out. But guys, these are literally influencers having arrangements, having relations, doing all sorts of weirdo activities. God bless, whatever you want to do. God bless. God, I can't even read off what they're doing. God forgive us. I'm just trying to make a point here. These are who are leading the masses, and they're leading the masses to the slaughter. While these bots basically is what they are. They're mindless bots that follow whatever their favorite singer, influencer tells them to do. Versus what the adults in the room have done over here in the XRP, the XLM, the broader utility crypto community, that's actually trying to solve real problems, actually about business, actually about exposing the SEC for what they've done to this space wrongfully, operating within the laws, fighting on behalf of our space, like we've done in the XRP, like Ripple has done by leading that charge, to spearhead clarity for this space. On the flip side, you got these clowns that are literally working with government agents to rug pull you, me. This is what we're up against. This is kind of a joke over here, what we're talking about. But now we understand why they've done so much to suppress these assets, not just XRP, XLM, and others, that they are being consulted by, that they are in partnerships with, that they are going to launch and tokenize assets on. And meanwhile, what does the retail space get? These fake, anon, hide their face influencers that are getting silly with SEC agents. Are you kidding me? And it really makes sense because you wonder, how could these celebrities be pushing this crap and they don't have an SEC case brought against them? Meanwhile, over here, we've been in a 3-year battle and Ripple only tried to do the right thing. And meanwhile, these celebrities, it's just one rug pull after another. And it's because it's problem, reaction, solution, order out of chaos is what these people live by. That's why they've rug pulled Main Street America. Order out of chaos is what they live by. How do you be the savior with the solution? You create the problem yourself. You put fuel on the fire yourself. You cover up the legitimate. You take advantage, give yourself a free pass to try to monopolize the industry. And who they underestimated was this little XRP community that exposed it all, that's been calling it out. Folks like myself that have never shilled a project ever. Meanwhile, you guys know it's all starting to turn. We're about to turn to the next chapter, and the next chapter is clarity with regulations, with stablecoin liquidity coming in, with all sorts of other real-world utility liquidity coming in. And it's not just $1 trillion here. It's not just $1 trillion there. It's trillions of dollars on a daily basis. Many folks still don't understand this. What's happening in the XRP and XLM ecosystems? Let me show you. Web3 enabler. Exciting news for Salesforce users. Learn how to integrate XRP payments seamlessly into your Salesforce platform. Discover more about enhancing your business operations with crypto payments into your CRM. Check it out here. Built on XRP, and they tag RippleX. This is the growth. Solving real problems. Getting tapped into Salesforce. Sounds like something small, right? No, all this utility adds up. It compounds. It starts to snowball. While Mickey Mouse meme coins are being traded and manipulated. The XRP Ledger Community Magazine 3 is out today. This is the XRP Ledger Commons. Huge shout out to what Commons is doing over there. Once again, part of providing resources to get more developers in the XRP Ledger ecosystem. Exactly what's taking place over here with Easy A, exposing 134,000 developers to the XRP Ledger through their Easy A app. And they're doing a lot to onboard folks to other blockchains as well. But we'll take it where we can get it. 134,000 get exposed, even if only a fraction, a small percentage of those 134,000 developers decide to come build on the XRP Ledger. It's more developers than we got now. It's more developers and resources coming to the XRP Ledger ecosystem that is expanding. Amazing dinner with Ripple's very own GigaBrain, XRP Ledger, Ebian, Pleb, last night during ETHCC. Fun fact, this restaurant, yep, this is great. These guys are doing great work over here. We continue to expand. What about Stellar? Check it out. $550 million in tokenized assets so far. 475,000 crypto ramps. I couldn't believe that. What are we talking about here? 475,000 crypto ramps? I question this from Stellar. Like, where are you guys pulling that from? 180 countries, one network, Stellar. Built better so you can build better. Remember, Stellar just added smart contracts to the native layer 1 protocol. They brought smart contracts to the layer 1. Something that's been debated in the XRP Ledger ecosystem, but we haven't done it yet. We've decided it hasn't been best. And this has been done through the consensus amongst the validators that it's just not, we're not ready. And you can use these different side chains to have interoperability and to keep that throughput, because we want the fastest and the best liquidity in the world built out on the XRP Ledger. We don't want to bog it down with a bunch of nonsense. And what's interesting is that Stellar's gone the other way with bringing smart contracts to their blockchain. There's been no significant price movement. They've brought 550 million in tokenized assets to their blockchain. There has not been any significant movement in price. They are touting 475,000 crypto ramps. I'm assuming that means on-ramps and off-ramps? Or maybe just on-ramps to crypto, I guess. Nonetheless, this is outstanding work being done by Team Stellar. I am not as bullish on Stellar as I am XRP. I still hold XLM. I'm not married to XLM. I don't get emotional about XLM. You cannot discount what they got cooking over there. But as I said, the assets that have been tokenized so far, pretty good. Comparable to what I'm about to show you with BlackRock. That's right. Not only is both of our ecosystems expanding, BlackRock's making sure that they get their piece of this pie. 550 million in tokenized assets and it doesn't impact price. That needs to be show us in the XRP community what's coming our way. Even if assets get tokenized on the chain, what really moves price is overall demand for trading between the assets. The movement of value is what's going to increase the price. But nonetheless, you have to get it tokenized on the blockchain to move it in the first place. So Stellar achieving a massive milestone with nearly $500 million of tokenized assets on chain. Please remember too how laughable that is compared to the amount of value that is coming on a DLT technology. 550 million is laughable. We're going to tokenize 500 trillion that might take decades, but the estimates, the conservative estimates are 30 to 50 trillion by, into the 2030s. We're expected to see significant growth even coming in next year. And what BlackRock is doing right here is they're making sure that they get their piece of this action. BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund, BUIDL, has surpassed 500 million in market value, making it the highest value tokenized treasury fund in the world. Securitize CEO Carlos Domingo discusses why it has been so successful. Let's listen in here.
Carlos, when we talk here about this idea of money market funds becoming more tokenized, why do you think this one has brought in so much money so quickly?
Well, if you think about where the market fit for tokenization has been, I think the first asset class that was successfully tokenized was the dollar, right? So stable coins, which are essentially tokenized dollars, it's at 150 billion plus size. So I think that the next, more natural asset class to do that was the closest thing to a dollar, which is treasuries, right? So money market funds are basically short-term treasuries and repurchase agreements, which is what the bill fund is. And I think the reason this has been successful, obviously, one of them is because it's BlackRock. So it's issued by the largest asset manager and the most reputable in the world. But I think the other part is that it's really
So I'm going to pause that right there to show you these funds of tokenized real-world asset treasury bill products as of July 8th. This is nothing. This is laughable. But these institutions are already bragging about becoming the leaders. And you think that they want to lose that spot? Now that they're coming out and talking about this, $400 million for the second place, $281 million over here on USDY, $213 million for OUSG, and $120 million for USYC. Now, I believe that the Franklin Templeton tokenized treasury mutual funds, I believe that it was into the hundreds of millions as well. This is why Stellar is touting that $550 million. I don't know how much of that is that Franklin Templeton one, but that Franklin Templeton was one of a few. Wisdom Tree also was doing it as well. And so you're starting to see that just these one-off funds are already at $500 million. And this is really, these have not been around for very long. I think less than a year. And the growth that we're about to see coming in this space is going to be nothing short of massive, spectacular, 5x, 10x. Are we talking that sort of potential for this bull run? Absolutely. I think that there still are 5 and 10x winners all across the board. In particular, coins that have really been overlooked, overshadowed, but they're dropping big partnerships right now that are actually starting to put this value on the chain and get it moving. Because it's not just a matter of tokenizing the value on the chain, it's a matter of building that liquidity. Remember, Stellar's had an AMM for a while. XRP Ledger just got the AMM. We got different approaches between the XRP Ledger and XLM. And it's almost as if, right, they're working hand in hand. They've accepted their territories, their role. It's like the, typical competitors in business who each just have their own different market, right? When Stellar's touting nearly 500,000 on-ramps, guys, this is massive. 475,000 ramps with 180 countries. That's a lot of ways to get access to the Stellar network. That's a lot of countries where the Stellar network is available. This is spectacular growth that we're seeing within both the XRP Ledger and Stellar. Where does price action come from? The price is going to come when the speculators come into these assets as they start to realize that, XRP is going to have the clarity. And I think that it's really going to spur that run for the rest of these utility projects, Stellar included. XRP is the leader. It's like how Bitcoin leads the rest of the cryptocurrency space. XRP leads the rest of the utility coins. So typically when XRP is going up, XLM will follow. And sometimes it'll actually drag up Algorand, HBAR, and some of these others. This bull run is still going to bring a massive amount of speculation as folks try to get in to these assets really at any cost, because we're all trying to get away from a devaluing dollar. And now in this market where your value's being devalued, inflation's taking away your value so quickly, it's forced us all to become risk takers. We're no longer interested in making 5 to 10% on our money, which is why I'm not interested in these funds. Oh, that's great. You guys put a treasury bill on the blockchain. I didn't want the treasury bill on the traditional system. I'm not interested in a deal with the devil, otherwise known as the U.S. government. Our treasury ran by Secretary Yellen. Thank you very much, but I'm going to pass on the 5%. because there is a counterparty with that T-bill. It's the US government. There is no counterparty with this asset. That's why I like it. That's why I love it. And the utility has actually been better than 5% in the last year, hasn't it? As far as growth in the asset. I want to get to Q&A. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. If you guys haven't already, please make sure that you like this video. And if you can help me by sharing out my content on a daily basis far and wide, that really does help us. I'm going to take a look at the charts. Once again here, Bitcoin at 58,000 here once again. We've been watching this one. And as I said, we flipped Bitcoin. The 58,000 support has now been flipped into a resistance. This is not good for Bitcoin. So let me get to your Q&A about markets, these current events, what's taking place in these ecosystems as far as the technology, XRP XLM, one going with smart contracts, XRP Ledger without smart contracts, but starting to build utility and add other critical amendments. This is a beautiful spot to be in as our fundamentals look sound, the technicals still look solid, and we know that no matter who gets elected, another massive wave of money printing combined with regulations for this space and lots of ability to onboard to this space coming brings another wave of liquidity into our digital asset investments. Let's take a look here. Drop your comments and questions down below. Let's get right on into it, guys. This is, like I said, we've tapped it 4 times. This is the daily chart. Okay, so this is the daily chart, and you can see July 6th, July 7th, July 8th, July 9th, and this is the daily chart for July 10th. So this is going to be tapping it 5 times. Now, this back test that we got just yesterday on Monday brought us back down to 54,200. I'm going to take your comments and questions now. Love you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in here. Bitcoin will drop under 50K. Drop your price predictions down below. Let's see what you guys think. If you guys have any questions, just drop them in the chat. Love to take them. Appreciate you guys for stopping by here today. If you guys haven't already, please share it out far and wide. God bless you. And gotta plug my stuff real quick here. It's just ZachRector.com. That's it. That's it. No 60-second ad, no 30-second ad. ZachRector.com. Come on and join our family. I got a private group. I got resources for you. It's the only place to get in touch. It's all over there. Appreciate you guys. Other than that, please smash it for me. Please tap it for me. Please drop a comment down below. Let me know what the vibe is. Love you too, Shannon. Thank you. Thank you. The bottom may be 51,980. Yeah, Camille, we don't even need to get that exact with it, right? We just need to round off. 50 to 52. 50 to 52 is my target. And, 52 really... We got so close, 53,300 on the initial drop last week. Zach, have you played around with the Michnik and Athey calculator? Well, yeah, so I was part of the, I was part of the committee that Jimmy Valley put together. I was not part of the valuation committee, but I was given the information and the calculations that they provided and eventually made public for everybody to see. I did not partake in any sort of the valuation models. My own, hypothesis that I've come to on XRP is that, if you apply calculators like that and estimate out some of the utilities that are coming our way, XRP should be valued. There's no reason why it already shouldn't have gone above $10. Like with ease. So if you use that calculator and you run more bullish assumptions, you come up with higher prices. But the Suzy Athey Michnik model is just one model that can be applied, one valuation that can be made on the value of XRP. The fundamental value for XRP over the next decade, I think, does go to double digits. And I think that there's absolutely a potential for even triple digits. As far as price predictions higher than that, I mean, people can throw out the highest numbers that they want, and I'm not going to say that it's impossible. I'm just not. And call me crazy, call me biased, that's fine. I'm just not going to say it's impossible. If I told my grandma, my great grandma and grandpa that lived through the Great Depression, served in World War II, if I told them that a Starbucks woke latte was $7, they'd smack me. Okay. So for me to say, put a limit on the value of these assets when we're going into and continuing through an inflationary period in our dollar's history, some suggest that this might be the end of it. I would I would contest that we're on a path that is not sustainable. And so I would bet on it being closer to the end than it is the beginning. And we might be very, very close to, in fact, you have to understand that when countries ditch the dollar, it's over for the dollar in that country. There are countries right now that are actually making it criminal to use the US dollar. It's crazy. Shell, I want to say thank you for that super chat. Really do appreciate it. Zach's still keeping it real and smashing through the FUD. Know what you hold. Keep filling the bags, dollar cost average, and stacking the coins. I'm breaking a sweat for you guys up in here, okay? I might have to turn on the AC. It's a little bit hot up here in the Northwest, but I'm not going to complain because compared to the rest of this country, our weather is so perfect. It gets up to 80 degrees and we're like, oh, it's hot. It's really hot up here. And it's like just money. If you're not having to work in this weather, no reason to complain. People in this area getting dramatic. And I'm like, man, we got hurricanes hitting Houston. We got the Southwest already going up to 120, Las Vegas. It's already scorching out in the desert. And we're up to 80. I was listening to the Vancouver local news and they were like calling this extreme weather. I was like, it's 80. 80. Like it's a heat wave that we normally get this time of year. This is not extreme. I mean, call me a clickbaiter. Golly. These guys are calling 80 degrees extreme. We're surrounded by water here in the Pacific Northwest and trees. We have shade, water and shade. We will survive. This is not extreme. You got to be careful if you're obviously have conditions. Nonetheless, appreciate you guys. What else are we working with? Let me take your questions. $30 to $50, maybe even $100. So I'm saying that, it's tough to gauge. You're trying to estimate how much is the dollar going to be devalued and how much is the price of XRP going to grow organically through its utility. So yeah, crypto is dead. 3 Diglets, 10 spot. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Really do appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, guys. Here's the deal. Memes are dead. The Solana meme coin season's over. Is Solana over? Is the tether manipulation coming to an end? That's what I see coming to an end. That to me is what is dying. And, for better, for worse, for right, for wrong, if folks want to put all their value in Solana and Solana meme coins, have fun. Good luck. God bless. I hope it works out. That's not where I'm putting my money, but I'm not here to say that you shouldn't invest in Justin Bieber coin. Go buy the Biebs. Justin's got to do that. That's a hit right there. Biebs. That's what the ticker should be. Just Biebs. That's $1 billion idea right there. And if Justin launches that coin, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to partake in it, even though it probably will pump, because I know it's gonna fall off, because the real value is only it's only flowing into this speculation while the liquidity is still present. It's drying up, which is why it's starting to come to an end right now. And so this is why I'm comfortable in my XRP investment. This is why I'm comfortable with my bag of XLM. I don't have many other cryptos other than that. I have a bag of XDC. I think I still have some Flare. I have a couple of XRP Ledger tokens like Reaper. I have Casino Coin. I think I've bought X Gold. I bought X Gold a long time ago because, hey, maybe they will tokenize gold on the XRP ledger. I have no idea who even issued the coin or what they have or what they're doing, but X Gold sits in my wallet today, right? And by the way, watch out because there's a lot of tokens being issued on the XRP ledger right now, guys. The memes that have been launched on Salon and all that, you can launch them on XRP. Many people just don't realize it, but there are people that do, and they're launching them right now. And you need to be careful. You need to go make sure that they black hole the wallet, the issuing address. You need to go make sure you know who's got it, what they're doing. And you have to understand that 99% of the space probably is going away. Even if they have good intentions, what they're doing probably won't last. Right? This space has been giving out participation trophies because we had the Tether money printer. It's just like Powell was giving out participation trophies because he had the Federal Reserve's printer. It's the same thing. And you're seeing right now, dormant Bitcoin addresses from 2011, 2012, 2013, they're bringing in hundreds of millions of Bitcoin to dump at the same time that governments are dumping, like Germany. And I actually believe that Germany's running a test right now to help test the liquidity and stress test Bitcoin. That's what this has been, is it's been kind of a test. They load up the exchanges with Bitcoin to offload some of it, dump the price, move Bitcoin back to their wallet. It makes it look like they bought Bitcoin. And so the price of Bitcoin pumps back up to 58,000. Then we find out that they didn't buy more Bitcoin. They didn't do a buyback like some news outlets wanted to say. They just returned the unsold Bitcoin back to their wallets. And they still have more to dump. They're just under half the supply that they had. But one must ask the question very simply, as I put it on X last night, if the consensus is that Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000 this cycle, and I believe that it will, why are they not holding? They got the Bitcoin for free. They have no cost basis other than what it costs their FBI or equivalent thereof in Germany to get the Bitcoin. That's their cost basis, which probably is a lot. So they probably should try to make some money off of it, right? But obviously they don't believe in it, or it's just more important for them to run this stress test on Bitcoin. But I believe that this is all going to draw down Bitcoin further with the broader economy also tightening up right now. Fed Chair Powell, still remaining strong that we're not getting the cuts anytime soon. So as much as folks want to pump up these markets, what's happening on Main Street will continue to suffer. The suffering will continue to be worse and worse until Fed Chair Jerome Powell does ease up interest rates, and until they probably turn back on the money printer, try to do student loan forgiveness, try to do other handouts, try to do other stimulus checks. And this is why there's two routes, default or inflate. And it's very clear that they've chosen inflate. That's how they're going to pay back their responsibilities. RT, I appreciate you for the super chat. Zach, are you buying the dip and 3 Diglets rocks? Yeah, I've never seen you guys in the chat before, but welcome. Thank you. I appreciate the super chats tonight. Really do appreciate all the love. Keep on dropping those comments, questions down below. I have not bought this dip yet. I have not bought it yet. I'm very tempted to, but I'm being very tight with my cash right now. Meaning I'm just trying to keep it stacked. The cost of everything these days, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Okay, here's a real story. I'll share a real story for you guys. I was thinking about this weekend. I'm sweating though real quick, so let me wipe off my brow. We're sweating a little bit up in here. When I go to pay my credit card bill, I'm sweating a little bit too. I wanted to ask you guys, have we absolutely lost our minds with the prices of going out to eat, going out to take the family for, going to do anything these days, right? So over the weekend, I take the family out and we go to dinner, and we went to a nearby town. We went to the nicer area, right? Because the streets are actually a little bit safer. And so we went to the nice part of town. The restaurants are a little bit more expensive. So we expect it to be a little bit more expensive. But here, listen to this. The dinner that we got for the fam, I got carne asada. It's like $28. $28 for carne asada with some tortillas. Wifey gets carne asada tacos, street tacos. I don't know what the price was on that. Wifey gets a little margarita. Daddy gets a little bit bigger margarita. And the children split a kid's meal, a quesadilla. I'm joking. Quesadilla. They split a quesadilla kids meal. Remember, two full-size plates, 2 full-size adult meals, 1 kids meal, 2 margaritas, $113. Folks, if you can't feed little babies and children, with you and wifey for less than $113, what are we doing? And then, of course, my children, they make a huge mess. Rice and beans. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Just disaster. So, of course, I feel obligated to give a nice tip. I think I tipped like $40. So I'm like, man, this guy's got a mess to pick up, right? They expect it. We apologize a couple times. They say, oh, no worries. But I feel bad, right? It's a disaster. I feel bad for the people sitting next to me watching beans and rice get flung around, right? But anyways, so I tip because golly, but I'm like, what is this, right? Then after that, we go for a walk, enjoy the sunset, and then it's time to get ice cream, which I think is crazy. We don't need ice cream, but we got to have ice cream. Okay, fine. You can tell what kind of dad I am, right? We don't need ice cream. So we go to get ice cream. Wifey gets waffle cone single scoop. I get waffle cone single scoop. 1 little small cup of ice cream. $19. $19. 2 waffle cone single scoop and a little kid's cup. $19. And then I got a tip. Of course I got a tip. And I'm thinking after this, I'm like, man, what is going on? Like, this is just out of control. Like, I'm sick to myself, paying for this. Like, this isn't the last $100 that I got, but golly, right? And so, long story short, the next day we went to the lake. We had a lake day and we packed a picnic. And I had to talk with wifey about how we're going to be doing some picnics because I just can't stomach this anymore, guys. Have we lost our minds out here? $19 for 2 cones and a little cup? What are we doing? I mean, I could buy 3-4 jugs of ice cream. And like I said, we shouldn't even be eating ice cream. If it was dad's decision, no ice cream. But, we gotta have some fun, right? But what are you guys feeling out there for the cost? Let me know if you're American. And for you guys in Australia, I know we got our Aussies in the chat. God bless you. Our Canadian brothers and sisters up north. I take the family up there. And the only reason I can afford to take the family up there is because our dollar's doing so dang good against yours. And I like taking the family up there. You guys got a bunch of stuff up there. It's a lot of fun. Go in, get out. What are you guys feeling, though, about this situation this summer? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, man. Ron says, yeah. 113, somebody solving a decode on. God bless you guys. Somebody's decoding the Mexican restaurant. Man, didn't even get to finish the margarita either because the kids started having a meltdown. We got to run. Just a disaster. And then, and that's the thing with me is if you've had young kids, if it's, you try to go enjoy a family restaurant and we did. I mean, it's still a great time. Still just love it. But golly, man, it just kills me to not even finish the food. It's like, yeah. Yep. Yep. I see you guys in the chat. Yep. Guys, thank you so much. Keep dropping it. Comments, questions. Let's go through it. I want to go rapid fire through. Let's go rapid fire Q&A. I'll stop ranting and raving. Oh, Trudeau. Up north there, you guys are so nice, so polite, but running your country like it's just unbelievable. It's expensive in OZ, but what you're saying sounds like highway robbery. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy because it's in the nice part of town, and it's not even it's not even that fine and dining, right? When you're sitting outside on the patio it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I'm that dad that always is just like, man, I'm not pleased about this, but I'm going to do it. For the family, to make them happy, I'm going to do it. This bugs me. Groceries have 4x and we are here for 589. Yeah, Jim, I'm here for 589 too. Buying the big three. Yeah, so here's the thing. Right now, it's just so tough not to add to the XRP bag, to be honest. But I am looking at a few others. Yeah, I'll put together a list of coins that I'm looking at right now. Mostly, I'm actually interested in this AMM too. Being able to find liquidity pools that are going to put out some sustainable yield. Even though it's fluctuating and it's still kind of building out right now, I've been putting some money into the AMM, and I'm going to be reporting back, kind of following up with another AMM video here soon. So if you guys like the AMM video I did, I'm going to be dropping another one here soon. And if you guys missed that, just look up how to XRP AMM. It's a how-to video on how to do the XRP AMM. It's very simple. It's about 20 minutes long. And I go through the whole process, showing you how I made a couple mistakes and it was just simple fixes, right? And how easy it was to navigate. But being able to, start to generate some yield from the AMM, that's one thing that I've been interested in. But there are some other cryptocurrencies that I'm looking at as well that are doing some interesting things. For me right now, the focus has just been on locked in on the business and stacking the cash. And as the broader equity market goes into contraction, that's when I'm going to be looking to make my move on private equity. That's why I haven't moved yet, is I think that there's a correction coming. In private equity, liquidity has already started to dry up some. But as the broader stock market corrects, the private equity will get hit even harder. It's less liquid, and valuations are going to be coming down. And so that's when I'm going to step in and try to get access to some of these investments that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And that's, companies like Ripple. I'm also looking at others like Uphold. I was looking at PolySign. Where's the Q&A session with Jack McDonald? Isn't that supposed to be coming up sometime this month, I think, with Link 2 and PolySign CEO Jack McDonald? Supposed to be coming up here soon. That was a company that I was interested in, but, I did my update on PolySign and it doesn't look good to me. Doesn't look good now, but we'll see what they come up with. It's 12 in Florida. Thanks, Zach. Desiree, good night. Appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you so much. Yep. Yeah, XRP at 43 cents is like buying Solana at 22 cents back in 2022. No joke, Zach. We are early. That's the thing is, if all these coins can go to these market cap valuations off of fluff, fraud, fake, what's to say that these real world assets and utilities can't go way beyond that and sustain these valuations? It's funny to me to watch all these meme coins. They're talking about trying to get to $1 billion market cap or trying to get to $1 million market cap if they're a really small crypto, right? But it's just funny because this market cap valuation is just a vanity metric. I've talked about this in the past. We thought that we had a market cap of $3 trillion in the cryptocurrency space during all-time highs, And then we went back down below $1 trillion market cap. $2 trillion worth of market cap evaporated. So it's only a figment of your imagination, but perception is reality. And so it is still an important metric to understand, but it's a vanity metric and it should be used accordingly. That's what I've always said about market cap. So folks want to use market cap as an inhibitor, as a cap on what XRP can go to. Oh, bro, that would be a $10 trillion market cap. And you're like, well, yeah. I mean, the derivatives market is worth $1 quadrillion amount of value. The equities market worldwide is worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. We have markets and payment flows cross-border $6 trillion daily at SWIFT. $2 trillion daily in ACI, $14 trillion daily at ACI worldwide. $2 trillion at the clearinghouse within the United States of America on a daily basis. So between SWIFT, ACI worldwide, and the clearinghouse in the United States, you're approaching 20 trillion. Daily. Would you say that the market cap of SWIFT is 6 trillion? No. That's the liquidity value on a daily basis. That's why I've always said that you got two different metrics to look at. Market cap, liquidity value. Liquidity value is completely different from market cap. This is why folks are underestimating XRP, in my opinion. Liquidity value gives you a much different calculation than market cap. Check out Caspa. I've heard some good things about Caspa, Ron. I will follow up. I've been slacking on researching new cryptocurrencies, to be honest with you guys, because I really haven't been wanting to deploy much capital right now, or yet. Like, we're getting close. And so now I need to get my crap together, because now we've started to go into this correction. And you guys know my thesis. I think that this market bottoms out between now and November, the election, and then this bull run continues. So this is going to be something that we're going to want to take advantage of. I'm getting ready to deploy, and as soon as I do, you guys will know. My Discord group is the first to know. Not that I send any sort of trading signals, but when I make a trade or when I make a move, I do let my Discord group know. And so after I let them know, the next live show, the next video that I drop usually is when I'll let folks know that I've made and entered a new position. I'm very transparent in that regard. I don't like to, I just don't buy coins and then talk to my audience about them, right? So I've always stuck with, in my current role, I like to publicly talk about something and then move. And just because I don't like any sort of front running, especially on the smaller projects. If I do find a meme coin that, I do think has some value, there's only been a couple, and the SEI token was one of them, SEI. I made that trade, got out, took my money and ran, and I, was happy to do so, as now it's trading at 27 cents and I offloaded it at 95. So this is why I made my money. I took my money and ran out of this market and have been expecting this correction. I still think that we have a ways to go. As we speak right now, we're pumping. This is what I love about the crypto space. As we're live, we start pumping, and I just get, smacked with a green candle printed by Bitcoin. 58,900. As we've been live here for now over an hour and 20 minutes, we literally pump back up to 59,000. And this is why, Bitcoin's good at making me look stupid. But it's not that I still don't think that, lower prices are still in play, unless we can flip this into support. Right now, 58,000 has been flipped into resistance. We're breaking above to 59. We'll see how well it holds. Could this just be a late night pump before we get our next leg down? Very likely. Very, very likely. And, there could be many different things that could be driving this right now. We talked about it earlier today, where they turn on bots to long Bitcoin and eat up this Bitcoin supply. And they're able to do this. And the last times that we saw this was in January when Grayscale crashed the market after the Bitcoin ETFs went live. There was so much selling from folks that were in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust before it got made into an ETF. And then after all the ETFs went live, BlackRock and others had better fees, better rates. And so they were able to get all the liquidity from Grayscale, or there was a bunch of people from Grayscale that just dumped or took profits because there was an arbitrage there to be had. And so the last time that we saw these bots that are being deployed right now to prop up the market and place these long bets was January, right before we collapsed from 50,000 to 38. And the time before that was back during the Luna situation in 2022 and FTX in 2022. Same bots. And we're seeing dormant wallet addresses come live after a decade. They're bringing Bitcoin here to sell. We're seeing ETH ICO funds that had been locked in an ICO since 2019, 2018, being brought onto exchanges to sell. I covered at the very first data point that I shared in tonight's live was Jeff Bezos selling off 10 billion. That's 10 billion with the B, big ones. $10 billion worth this year. He just dumped another 863 million. This is the CEO of Amazon. And so this is what we're watching and expecting. I'm ready to take advantage of it. Are you guys? Let me know in the comments down below. All kinds of folks got liquidated just now. Yep. And that's what this will do, is this will liquidate a bunch of shorts. They'll run this thing up a little bit, start to get some FOMO. They can push it up to 60. And then this is just a temporary move, little bull trap rally before we make our next leg down. We need a solid break. I mean, let me zoom out on my chart and we'll take a look at the TA right now. Bitcoin. Let's go to the weekly, because on the daily, I mean, we still have a ways to go. On the daily, I'd like to see us hold 60K before I can even feel comfy. 58 to 60 is still in this no man's land right here. We need to close a couple days here before I'm feeling comfy. This is exactly, look at this candle right here. Look at this candle formation right here before we fell off. Look at this fractal. Hello. Look at that. Even if it pops back up to 60, we just did this fractal right here at the end of last month. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And if we do get this drawdown, like I said, you know what I'm expecting for XRP. Last line of defense at that 33.28 was the lows of the 2022 bear market. Really don't want to see us break below that. But any move under this is going to be so short-lived, in my opinion. Be very short-lived. I mean, we're still under we're basically still above this trend line, right? This wedge that we've been trading in going back to 2022. Coming up on the 1-year anniversary in 4 days on the XRP Clarity ruling, July 13, 2023 ruling from Judge Torres. Coming up on the 1-year anniversary. Where do you see XRP if we get that drop? Well, like I just said, 45 to 40 is where we're at already. And if Bitcoin goes down to the 50, 52,000 level, I think the XRP is going to go back to 33. 33 to 36 is what I would expect for XRP. We already did 38. Remember, that was just last week. The XRP right here, went back to 38 cents. Now, basically, we still got 40 cents as support. Right now, we're still holding 40 cent support, even though we wicked below it, one time. XLM down to 8 cents. I haven't updated this chart in a minute. We broke this trend line. That's broken. We can delete that one. Boy, I haven't taken a look at XLM in a minute. Oh, see, this is what I'd shared previously, is that XLM, you kind of almost can't see this right now, but basically XLM, this last bull run, XLM was only 15% away from its previous all-time high of January 2018. If XRP was 15% off of its all-time high from 2018, XRP would have been up at like $3, right? We underperformed what XLM did when comparing to the previous bull run. XLM was just 15% off of its all-time high back in May of 2021, up to 80 cents. Yeah. And then this is when I'd sold off XLM, and I went back into XRP and I took profit. When XLM was up above 30 cents. That was XLM that I'd bought for like 5-6 cents, offloaded it into XRP, and I've since added back to my XLM bags. We're in that final moment. Between now and the election, I think that this market bottoms out. I think that we get the stock market correction that we've been waiting for. And this is going to be the last, opportunity to get these assets this low before the new wave of liquidity comes in through stablecoin regulations and the money printer coming back on. That's what takes us into the next the next wave up to new all-time high for Bitcoin, to new all-time high for the overall cryptocurrency space, into a new all-time high for XRP as well. Yeah, Milton, thank you. Says, great live, Zach. Smash that like, folks. If you guys haven't already, it really does help us. I appreciate you guys. Really do appreciate you guys. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this session. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've gone live now for an hour and a half. Had a lot of fun with you. Had some laughs, have some economic data that's not looking so good. A situation that, is something for us to take advantage of. And that's why I have a smile on my face as I go through this on a daily basis. We are going to stick together. Our vision is clear. Our purpose and our mission. We've never been more locked in on it. And we're going to continue moving towards it on a daily basis. I want to appreciate the fact that you guys show up here with me. You like the videos. You share them out far and wide. You're getting your friends and your families tapped in, or at least you tried to. At least you tried to. We're not going to get everybody on board the train. We already are moving. And so we make a last-ditch effort to pull folks aboard. If they don't want the help, if they don't want to see the light, well, they're going to see us fade off into the distance, because this train is a-rolling and this train has a long ways to go. As we highlighted in this session here tonight, the overall ecosystem is expanding. XRP and XLM are expanding, and the final buying moments, opportunities for us to take advantage of between now and the election are starting to present themselves. I hope that you're able to position your portfolios accordingly for this bull run, and that you're going to be able to generate massive profits for you and your family. And as we're currently working now on our strategies for reallocation, tax mitigation, and the ability to protect the assets that we're stacking. If you appreciate what we're doing, make sure that you have subscribed, hit that notification bell on the way out. If you could tap it, I'd greatly appreciate you. And I will see you guys tomorrow with some additional updates. God bless you all. Thank you so much.